Hi, everybody. Welcome to the show. It's the Friday Night Flathead Challenge. My name's Pontoon Jodi. Welcome in. Tonight, I'm fishing on the Watts Bar, and I'm using fresh skipjack. Well, actually, it's frozen skipjack, and it's cut up in pieces. And I'm using Mad Cat rods and monster rod holders. And Dustin will be up in a few minutes, and we'll have a couple more people come up fishing. I had a bite just a minute ago. Oh, I got a bite just then, too. And I've been here about 5 minutes. So maybe we can catch a fish tonight. Hopefully. Let's see if I can say hello to some people. Let's see. Comments. Hey, Dagon Outdoors. How you doing? Rowdy Royal. How you doing? Hey, Three Nights. Gregory Lemon. How you doing? Crappie Day Darren. There's Mike Sampson. 922 Crappie Barbecue. Real and Virtual Outdoors. And I think I'm caught up. Catch fish with us, Heidi. Welcome in. I'm probably going to switch it over all the way to, hey, Catfishing Crappie. I'm going to start switching it to Fishing with Friends on Friday night instead of the Flathead Challenge. So, and in the morning, we got the tournament on Saturday. So, thank y'all for spending Friday evening with me.
Hey, Jodi.
Hey, what?
Hey, you do know tonight's Thursday, right?
What?
Yeah, tonight's our show.
You're
April
kidding.
Fools. Wait, wrong holiday.
Everybody. That's your trick. You don't get no treat.
No, this is the treat. Seeing us.
That's right.
Happy Halloween, everybody.
Happy Halloween.
Josh said, hey, that ain't Dustin. There's some similarities.
Yeah.
Yeah, the cat ears.
Yeah.
Mark said, what are you doing on here?
I couldn't stand it. I had to get out and fish. Couldn't make it no longer.
Oh, man.
Jodi did a good job with that, saying, hope we catch some fish tomorrow for the tournament. And, you know, yeah, that was good.
Everybody in chat, raise or give me a thumbs up or raise your hand if she had you going there for a minute.
Probably would have had me going if I didn't know any better. I called Dustin on Wednesday and we talked about fishing this weekend, and I said it's okay. We have time to think about it. It's only Tuesday, and he said it's Wednesday. I said, oh, really? I can't do that.
Lisa, what's going on?
Hey, Lisa.
Chris, how you doing? Sampy, how you doing, brother?
Hey, Chris.
There's Randy. Oh, Mark said, I called shenanigans right away. No, you did not. Randy raised his hand.
What's up, Randy?
Bugman's in the house, said, fixing some food. Hi, all in chat. What you fixing there, Bugman?
I bet it's something good.
Appreciate everybody coming in. We, in the spirit of Halloween, I'm going to do the show in the dark tonight.
Ooh.
I'm scared.
You should be.
Yeah.
So I might hit the wrong button because I can't see anything.
I wore my Cool Cat shirt tonight, and then next thing you know, Jodi's up here, and I was like, oh, that was almost perfect, you know, like. But
so your costume is a skunk tonight?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna pretend like I don't catch fish. I told
that's spot on.
I told yeah, I know. I pretend to do that every weekend. But I told a buddy of mine at work today, you know, we're all electricians. And I asked him, I said, are you going to be an electrician tonight for Halloween since you weren't one today? Oh, that's very funny. Yeah. Yeah.
Josh Thompson said, "Got to go to the bait and tackle store. I will walk 5,000 miles."
And I will walk 1,000. What is it? 1,000? Is it 1,000 miles? Anyways,
I thought it was 500 miles.
Is it 500? Yeah, okay, 5. Yeah. Well, that's Josh. I messed it up, but that's Josh.
Mark said, "Trick or treating hours are officially over here in my town."
Oh yeah,
Shoot.
He's on Central Time.
Shoot, now, yeah, trick or treating hours are over. Now it's the toilet papering and egging time.
Yeah, yeah. I got to get back out there.
What? They don't put forks in your yard?
I've never heard that.
Really? They call it forking. They stick a bunch of plastic forks in your yard, and you have to go around and pick them up because you can't mow over or anything, or they break off.
That's forking ridiculous.
Yeah. I usually only fork once a year. And it's not on Halloween. I've never heard that. That sounds incredibly frustrating.
Oh yeah, could you imagine? I mean, I've done it before, but I've never had it. Someone do my. I take that back. Someone did it in my yard before. I made the kids pick it up.
So I mean, I guess you get free forks though, so that's cool.
Yeah.
V, what's going on, V? How you doing?
Howdy, V.
Hey V.
Appreciate that, Randy. Said, "Don't forget to hit that thumbs up, folks."
I think I'd rather get toilet paper in one of my trees than forks in my yard. Just in case I miss picking one up. Hit it with a lawnmower.
Yeah.
Hey,
Okay.
could you imagine stepping on that barefoot after it's cut off?
Oh no.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Right in the arch.
Ugh. I've had a nail through the arch of my foot. That was no fun.
Yeah.
I can't imagine a fork.
I don't have much of an arch. I'm kind of flat-footed, like a Bigfoot.
Like a hobbit says.
Yeah, like a hobbit. Yes.
They
You got an
stick the
Amish
fork
hobbit.
in the ground. The fork in the ground is the handle that's sticking up.
An Amish hobbit.
An Amish hobbit.
That's a costume.
Lisa said, "Austin, did you get some Amish candy?"
No. We went to a regular neighborhood. Mooched off the regular people.
Yeah, Lisa
Have you
was
whipped
she
your
texted
kids'
her
candy bags yet?
Do what?
Have you mooched out of their candy bags yet?
Oh my gosh, yes. As soon as we got, before we even got back to the house.
You bringing some on Saturday?
I could probably bring a couple pieces, yeah. And my oldest, she's very protective, so I'm gonna have to be sneaky about it. But yeah.
Just tell her it's for me. She'll let you have some.
Yeah, you're probably right. Yeah, well, yeah, you're exactly right. If I tell her it's for you, she'll be fine. You're right.
922, what's up? Jeff Beals in the house. See, Lisa said, "Austin, my brother forked a few yards over 1,000 in 1 yard. Holy, that sounds expensive."
That sounds illegal. that sounds excessive. 1,000 in 1 yard. I think I'd be a little upset about that one. A handful would be like, okay, I got, you forked me. I get it. 1,000. Wow.
Randy saying there should be a 30% candy tax, Austin.
Yeah. Oh, I definitely charge the dad tax, on just about everything. So,
what's up, Darren? Copy day, Darren in the house.
Hey, Darren.
Mark said, "Forks meet birdshot." Lisa said it was a teacher's yard. She was impressed.
Yeah, he applied himself. That's probably what she said. That's what they used to say about me, that if only I would apply myself. You know.
I wonder if she asked him how many forks are here. Was it a math teacher?
Yeah.
10
Probably.
to the 10th power. No.
She probably said, yeah, they probably had homework on Monday that was like, so if Johnny puts 1,000 forks in my yard and I pick up 287, how many forks are left? And the answer is it doesn't matter because you're coming over and picking them up.
Rhonda says, happy Halloween, y'all. Hope everyone is doing well. I am listening in and diamond painting.
Diamond painting. Ooh.
Well, good evening. Thanks for coming in. Appreciate you listening.
Yep. And happy Halloween. Diamond
Absolutely.
painting. What's diamond painting?
It might be self-explanatory.
I've seen people online doing it on YouTube.
You paint a diamond?
That's what it sounds
I
like.
don't know exactly how they do it, but it's real pretty. Whatever they're doing.
Huh. Like you take a cheap diamond and then you paint it and sell it for a lot of money.
Ah, that sounds like a good idea to me.
No, it's a work of art when it's done. It's a picture.
Yeah. I was only joking, but
Oh.
I have no idea I've never heard of it.
Lisa said grade school. It was grade school, so she taught everything. She said she didn't have to pick them up, but my brother and the two that helped him had to.
Oh, diamond painting. Okay.
Like on a canvas?
Yeah, it's like I don't know. I don't think I'd be able to show it very well. That's like when they take that little pen and you pick up a little like plastic or whatever diamond and then you insert it into the canvas. Almost like not bedazzling, but
okay.
That's not, yeah.
Like
it's
color by
like,
number?
Yeah, more or less, I think.
Yeah,
I mean,
V said you take
I'm just looking at Google Images, but
V said you take extremely tiny clear beads and place them in a pick following a pattern.
Gotcha.
Mm.
Well, there you go. Cool.
Oh, shoot. I'll be right back.
Okay.
It's back to the Pontoon Jodi show.
Yeah. Lisa says she didn't have to pick them up, but my brother and the two that helped him had to. Hey, Gregory Lemon, what's up, man? He says, hi, Dustin, Austin, and Jodi.
Howdy, Gregory.
Randy says it was easy to catch Lisa's brother. There were only 27 in his grade, so it was pretty easy to figure it out.
Yep.
Yep. 8922 Bobby, I know you've been in here, but what's up, buddy? Catfish Cowboy. Oh, Dustin, what's up, man? He says, howdy, Austin. Howdy. So, Jodi, you said you've had a couple bites, right?
Yeah. I cut my light on bright and the bite stopped, so I cut it off for a minute, see if they come back.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm only like 9 foot deep.
Oh. And are you anchored or dragging?
I'm spot locked.
Oh, okay. I noticed that the last tournament you were dragging baits.
Well,
right?
I couldn't catch a fish.
Right.
And stand 3 was catching fish dragging. I thought,
yep.
Well, I never did the whole thing by myself. I always did the rods and James drove the boat.
Right.
And I was afraid I'd hit something or,
yeah,
driving the boat. And I thought, well, what's to hit in the middle of the channel on the ledge?
Right.
So I thought, I'm going to give it a try. I'm not going to sit here and know the iron skunk. So I think it was in 10 minutes, I'd caught a fish.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. I went back and watched some of the replay of the other channels like I usually do.
Mm-hmm.
And I seen that you did that. So that's pretty cool. That probably built up your confidence a little bit.
Yeah.
So that's always fun.
I just got bit again, but they must be babies.
Yeah. That's what was happening to Dustin and I last weekend in that tournament is, I mean, we were we were marking stuff on the bottom and
Mhm.
suspended, and you know, it's hard to tell what it was necessarily, but almost we fished a bunch of spots, but almost every spot we went to, we had small bites.
Yeah.
And at first we were thinking that maybe because we're in the tidal river or whatever, and in certain times of year you get crabs, blue crabs that come up the river, and they'll be pecking at your bait, and it almost looks like a real small catfish is kind of doing it. But these were,
Yeah.
so we were thinking it might have been that, and then but there were X amount of bites, quite a few bites that were definitely more than just a crab. So we knew that we were on at least small fish. It was just an off day in the area that we were in, because we were a lot further downriver than where stand 3 was.
Mhm.
And I just don't think that area was producing a whole lot. Dustin, correct me if I'm wrong, but we probably saw over the course of the day at least like a dozen other catfish boats.
Yeah.
You know, but they were all moving a lot. It didn't seem like anybody was staying in one particular spot for very long. So I don't think that stretch of river was producing a whole lot for much of anybody that day. Because I mean, if somebody was on fish, they'd have stayed in that spot. So at least I would have.
Catfish Cowboy saying, speaking of dragging, can I drag around Ancaro's Landing, or do I need to go to bigger water? You can drag Ancaro's.
Yeah,
I will warn you, there's a lot of snags on the bottom there.
There's a lot of snags. And you're going to have to compensate, because there's, you know, depending on when you do it, you know, there can be quite a bit of current through there too.
Yeah.
Even downriver from Ancaro's, you know, but instead of, like, if you've got, I don't think Catfish Cowboy has, you know, a fancy trolling motor or anything. He's probably set up kind of like I am, more or less, with an older trolling motor. So instead of, like, if you would normally drag on like a 1, which would put you at like 0.5 to 0.7, you might have to go to a 2 or 3 just to compensate for that current, if you're going against the current. And then your battery life is gonna suffer from that a little bit, but yeah, you can do it up there.
Absolutely.
Or you can use the current. You can just go with the current and save on battery life altogether. The only problem with that is that you're not going to be able to spread very much with your planer boards, because everything's moving at the same speed. So your planer boards are just going to want to go straight back, you know, more or less. But you can stagger, like you can take like 3 rods, or you could probably do as many as you want, depending on how much line you have. But you could take like 3 rods and stagger them straight out of the back of the boat. Put one really, really far, put one kind of far, and one closer. And that stretch of river, you're in 20-something foot of water, you know, if you stay in the middle of the channel. So that's deep enough to have one directly, more so, under the boat without necessarily spooking them. Yeah. So that's always an option too.
Well, you know, one of the things I was thinking about talking about tonight, and this is a really great segue, you know, as we've talked about different methods, you know, people's favorite methods of fishing. But one of the things I think we don't talk about enough is the why. Why do you choose to drag a certain area versus suspend drifting versus anchoring?
Right.
So I think, you know, I know, and there's one other topic that I'd like to kind of cover tonight too, later after we get done with this one. But explain. So for Dustin, why and when would he drag Ancaro's? When would it be beneficial for him to do so?
It would be, in my opinion, it would be more beneficial for Dustin to drag that area in between tides, that hour before a tide ends and that hour after a tide starts. You know, and there's going to, depending on how strong the tide is, there could be an hour of slack tide in between that. So that could give you 3 to 4 hours of decent low current type situations where you're gonna, if there's any wind, you're gonna struggle with anchoring anyways.
Right.
But that way, because I don't think fish move nearly as much when there's not a whole lot of current in that stretch of river anyways. So that'll give you an opportunity to move baits, bring the baits to the catfish instead of waiting on a random one that might never come. So that would be the best time to drag baits at Ancaros would in a more slack tide or very low current type situation.
So you said you don't think the catfish move much when there's no current. Why is that?
I don't know the why necessarily. I just don't. Maybe I just feel that way because when you try to anchor in a slack tide or a very low current type situation, I just don't have nearly as much luck. And I don't know if that's because I can't keep my boat straight or, well, even in like a slack tide, if you have some wind, a lot of times you can overcompensate. The wind will keep you straight.
Right.
But I can almost, I think I can say with confidence that that the by far the best times as far as either numbers or big fish or what the heck ever are going to be when I have some current or I'm moving a bait, not anchored up in low or no current. So I just don't think for whatever reason, like in a slack tide, I think the fish kind of just hang out and they wait. I don't think it's a high feeding time for them, maybe, or maybe in a slack tide, they're not focused on feeding. They're focused on changing position because if you have a hump in the water, right, and the current's going, if you have a hump and the current's going this way, the fish want to hang out on the backside of that hump. If you have a hump and the current's going I don't know which way I went, but if it's going the opposite way, then they're going to want to, a lot of times they will switch over to the other side of the hump to get out of that current. So during a slack tide situation, I think they're more focused on, where am I? Where am I moving to? And not necessarily feeding as heavy. It's kind of a slack window for them as far as the bite goes too.
There's a couple comments in chat, but one of the things I've always kind of gone by the last couple of years since I've been catfishing and doing YouTube is if it's slack tide, you move baits. If it's like anything up to like 0.7, 0.8, what was it? I'm trying to remember. You anchor fish. No. Anything over 1 mile an hour, you're anchoring.
Right.
I think anything under 1 mile an hour, you can move. Slack tide, definitely. A couple people in here said that they just like to do it because I like covering water. Like Randy says he likes covering water. 922 Bobby says cover more water is why I drag baits.
Yep.
So if you think about slack tide, you can think about a lake, right? A lake is always slack tide. I mean, there's no moving water in a lake unless there's a dam above it and they open the dam.
Right.
So
or there's a lot of wind. Sometimes you can get if there's a high wind, you can get kind of a wind generated current, but yeah.
So I mean, if you follow that theory, then I think if you're fishing a lake and it's not windy, then dragging baits is, you think, probably your best option. You get around to the most fish.
Yep. Yeah, that's 100% in a lake. I think in a lake, anchoring or dragging baits is probably almost always going to be your best option. But then on a river, the the current or lack of current is a determining factor for me. But another determining factor is like, so what time of year is it, and what do you think that the fish are doing, right? So in the fall, we, I think all of us know that in the fall, it's a transition period for the fish. Sometimes they can be hard to find, and I think that's because they scatter a lot more. Some of them are trying to go on the ledge. Some of them are trying to go deep because the bait is kind of scattering too. Those water temperatures are going down, so the wildlife is transitioning and getting ready for colder weather, and colder water temps. So if the fish are spread out and that they're feeding, that fall is a heavy feeding time. Maybe not every single day and not every single hour of the day, but in general, the fall is a pretty good feeding time for catfish. Right. They're filling up like a bear for the winter almost. So you can think of it like that. I don't know if the catfish think of it like that, but anyway. But so if they're spread out, it's, when you think about it like that, it's almost a no-brainer. Put some planter boards on and literally spread your baits out and move baits and go and see, right? So that's right. A good time to cover water, like people are saying in the chat. But then you go into when you go into the dead of winter, and it's been real cold temperatures, cloudy, raining, just dismal weather. And those catfish are they want to be deep, right? You can still drag baits. Dragging baits can work all year, just sometimes better than others. But that's a time where you can really pinpoint a spot like a deeper spot or whatever that they might be congregated, and so then anchoring on top of a spot like that could produce, and probably will produce, more fish than dragging, because if you're dragging, you go over that spot once. If you're anchored up in a spot that's filled with fish that are hungry, then you're there the whole time. You're with the fish the whole time. So,
right.
If you think the fish are scattered, then scatter your baits and move. If you think they're congregated in one spot, then sit in the spot, And
I think, I listened to Epic Talk, and I can't remember if it was on a live or if it was at CatCon a couple years ago when he was one of the presenters. Talked about how a lot of people will make the mistake of saying, what would I do if I were a catfish? Right? Because catfish don't think. Catfish don't have the reasoning capacity that we do. Catfish operate on water temperature and senses.
Yep.
So sense of smell, that they whatever, because the catfish have that. I mean, their whole body is a nose of sorts, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it can smell or sense whatever chemicals are in the water from the bait fish, so it knows where they're at by that sense. So in that regard, I think going to where you see bait, that's why you always say go where the birds are, right? Because where the birds are, there's bait. Where's bait, there's fish.
Yep.
But I also think if you think about that, and in regards to the water temperature too, catfish are cold-blooded. So they need to eat to get energy, and they need energy to stay warm, and they like warm areas. So that's why in the wintertime, I think if they're in a spot where the water can get warmed up by the sun, I think they'll tend to move to shallower areas so they can get warmer.
Yep.
But we also know catfish are, animals of creatures of habit, and they like consistency. So that's, when you're talking about when you're going out, if the weather patterns are to some people can be important, because you want the same weather patterns over 2 or 3 days. If you're going to go out, if you can manage that, or if it's not something that, excuse me, if you're not like have a live schedule, right? Or if it's not something you already have scheduled on the books, I think if you want to go out when the bite I think is going to be hot is a time where you've had 3 days of consistently the same weather, the same temperature, and then that third day, I think that's when the catfish I think may get complacent in a sense. But again, I might be overthinking it. But what's up, Freddie? We got Charles Breckenridge in the house, F.O.A. Customs and Gear.
Hey,
Curtis
guys.
Cunningham came back in.
Freddie. Yeah, you're definitely. I think you're definitely correct in that with the consistency and weather, and that's why I was saying, like, if you've had, a few days or a week of just like dismal, raining, low temperatures, then do one thing that's probably going to be a deep situation if it's the winter. But if if the water temperatures are 42 degrees, but the air temperature has been 60 degrees for 4 days and it's been sunny, I would then go shallow.
Yep.
Or at least look shallow, If you've got electronics, if you've got decent electronics, at least go there and look. It'll be worth a look. Because even if they're not there, it's still data. Like I've said that to Dustin on the boat, because we go out there and maybe we don't do so good or whatever, but, I'm like, well, either way, it's data. We know the fish aren't doing this. We know they're not here or whatever, So,
well,
that's something that you can apply. Sorry, but that's something that you can apply next year or even next week or whatever, So
right, exactly. What's up, Stuart? Thanks for coming in, Gregory, our #1 fan. How you doing, man?
Hey, buddy.
Hope you're doing fantastic. Gregory said, "What bait you use for catfish this time of year?" Well, here on the James, the most abundant source of food for the catfish are gizzard shad. So no matter what time of year we're fishing, we're always going to try to get fresh gizzard shad if we can.
Yep. Especially in the winter. In the winter, in the winter, it can be difficult to really catch anything other than gizzard shad, unless you know of a spot where you can maybe get on some crappie or something like that. But the warmer months are when you'll see us start using different types of bait, whether hickory shad, bluegill, crappie, whatever.
Yep.
But the wintertime, it's pretty much just going to be gizzard shad.
Right. And to go back to an earlier comment, you talked about, the wintertime when the fish are stacked up on one another, they're stacking in areas and they're not moving as much because there's not as much food around. Yep. Right. And they're going to be, they don't move as much because they don't have as much energy to move. That's why they lose a lot of weight during the wintertime.
Yeah.
Because they don't eat as much. And then when the bait fish come back out in the spring, that's why spring's always a good time, is because they've come off a season where there hasn't been a lot of bait around, a lot of food to eat. So they're going to go get as much food as they can and then get all that energy that they need to last throughout spawn.
Yep. And not to mention, the bait goes deep too. Like if in those same situations, the bait and the catfish pretty much do the same things. It's just one follows the other, Either one follows the other or one runs away from the other. And,
or it could be both.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think studying as to become a great catfish angler, I think it's important to not just study what the catfish do, but also study what the bait does.
Oh yeah,
because that will tell you a lot about what the catfish are probably going to do. No guarantees. There's never guarantees in fishing, but
no.
If you can tell, if you can see over the seasons or over the years that there's, in the wintertime or in the fall or in the spring, there's gizzard shad in a certain area and they tend to coalesce in that one area, then you're probably pretty much guaranteed there's going to be catfish in that area as well.
Yep. Yep, and that's one thing I started doing a while back was like instead of I used to bring like chicken or whatever, something with me just in case I couldn't catch bait. And then I stopped doing that. I started just forcing myself to find bait.
Right.
But, you know, because because if not, I didn't have any. So when you force yourself to find fresh bait, then you learn patterns, you know,
Yep.
So
I'm going to ask this comment or talk about this comment real quick and then go into what you just talked about. But Gregory Lemon said, do you use stink bait for catfish in the summer, Dustin and Austin? I don't use stink bait at all anymore. When I first started fishing the James, or when I was younger and fishing in a lake where I grew up, you know, it's worms, chicken livers, shrimp, you know, all that stuff. And that's, I'm not saying you can't catch blue cats or flatheads on them, but I say 90% of the fish that I caught on that kind of bait, the stink bait, the shrimp, the worms were channel cats.
Yep.
Channel cats do not get big in comparison in these areas because their populations are in competition with the blue cats and the flatheads because those two feed on the smaller channel cats in their areas, especially the bigger blues and the bigger flatheads.
Oh yeah.
So that's why you'll hear a lot of times where if you have a big blue and flathead population, you won't have a big channel cat population. Where you have a big channel cat population because you don't have a big blue or flathead population.
Oh yeah.
That's why
go ahead.
Now I was just going to say like up what's that place that Chris and V fish at?
Sandusky.
Yeah, they have some monster channel cats up there, but they don't have a blue cat population up there.
Yep.
So
yeah,
that's
pretty much everywhere that anybody has seen anyone catch like channel cats 20 pounds, 25 pounds and over. There's no blue cats there.
Right.
You know, for the most part. Now, do I think that there's probably a couple channel cats in the James River that, you know, bobbed and weaved well enough throughout their life to where, you know, they grew into a very respectable fish? Yeah, I do. But that's a very low percentage of the population, I believe. We've got right on the James River, we've got the lower James and we've got the upper James. And on the upper James, there's a decent, really decent blue cat population. But for the most part, right, it's small water, it's skinnier water, it's shallower water. There's not as much water and there's not as much bait for those blue cats to reach, you know, monstrous sizes. So up there, you have a much better chance of catching a decent sized channel cat because the competition just isn't quite as fierce.
Right.
But on the lower James, where you've got just almost unfathomable amount of surface area for these fish and bait for them, that's a completely different story.
Yeah, we talked about that on Saturday when we went out to where we went to fish the tournament last week. You know, it's when you get out to the Hopewell, Jordan Point, Power Lines area, that water gets really wide down in there. Mm-hmm. You know, in some areas can be a mile wide.
Oh, yeah.
And in some spots, you know, 70, 80, 90 feet. I've actually run across a 100-foot hole going down river down to Jamestown one time. The very first time I rode on the river.
Yeah.
I thought my graph was wrong. It told me we were moving. It said it was 100 feet. And I'm like, there's no way. But then I talked to a friend of mine whose parents lived down in that same area, and he said, yeah, it gets to 100 feet over there. Just imagine 100 feet of water, half of them, you know, I know that's not all 100 feet, but, you know, anywhere from 100, you know, 20 to 30 to 100 feet of water up at a half a mile. That's a lot of water.
Yeah.
And all the debris that comes down that area from trees to tree trunks to all that stuff that's on the bottom of the river is great places for those things, those fish to hide. And then of course you got a lot of mud in the bottom of that water down there for them to bury themselves in.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I see what was I gonna say? Oh, a couple things. But never mind. Actually, just one thing. Charles Breckenridge said, I've caught plenty of 40 to 50 pound blue catfish upstream of Pony Pasture. Is it just to clarify, when I say the upper James, I mean like the Powhatan County, Cumberland County, way further,
Right.
Because Pony Pasture, you still get, in certain situations, that water can get, not deep, but a lot deeper than further upstream.
Right.
You've got the upper James River, you've got the middle James River, and you've got the lower James River. Nobody ever talks about the middle James, which everyone just says either the upper or the lower, but technically speaking, you do have a what they call a middle, and that's what Charles is talking about. You're
talking about from the city up to the dam?
Yeah. Between Bosch's Dam and the city, more or less. Because underneath Bosch's Dam is where there's a guy. He doesn't have a YouTube channel, but he's got an Instagram, and I don't know what else he has, but his name is Ethan Chandler, and he's a subscriber of mine, but I follow him on Instagram, and he catches plenty of really, really nice flatheads and like Charles said, 40-pound blues, and that's predominantly what he fishes like in his kayak, is that area between really like between the Z Dam and Richmond.
Yeah, I've always been told that area up there, but that middle section of the James that you were talking about is there's some big flatheads up there, and there's a lot of them because when the water gets up there, they swim up into those rocks, and when the water gets lower, they get trapped in there.
Yeah.
So he said I've heard there's a hole up in there that you can see them. They'll come to the top, and then they'll go right back down to the bottom.
Oh yeah.
Hey, Gregory Burgess, thanks for coming in. Appreciate you. Hope you're doing well. Hope your wife's doing well. Let's see. Gregory Lemon asked, do you use catfish for bait to catch bigger catfish? I know Stan and I have used a small channel cat for bait, and we did catch a blue on it. So.
Yep. Yeah, I've done it a couple times. I try not to, but sometimes in rough situations I've done it.
Yeah, the one time we did is when we had trouble catching bait. What's up, Jish?
What's up, Jish?
We got Jish and TT in the house. You're muted, Josh.
You're muted.
Well, doggone it. Am I echoing?
Hi, Jish's mom.
Hi, everyone.
Hey,
nice to meet you.
Yeah.
How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing okay.
She's fishing out of I got that one rod, F.O.A. That's all I need right there.
There you go.
Okay.
Is that an effing rod or it's an effing rod?
Yeah,
it's the short, the DBO.
Okay. Is that the 6 or the 5 footer?
6.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And we
got interested in getting yourself an F.O.A. rod. You can go out and check out FOAcustomsgear.com. You can use code TSW10 or Fever10, get yourself a 10% off of a rod. Look at those stickers. Look at there. Right there, buddy.
We got new stickers this week. Danny Stone and then Coda Catfishing.
Nice.
Yeah. So Randy and Lisa gave me some stickers. So, and then, but anyways, but
hey, Jody,
we're not sure how long we'll hang out, but we'll see what happens. So,
hey, we're gonna be here for 15, 20 more minutes, but so we're not gonna be too much longer.
Okay.
Hey, James, welcome in. Hey, Jodi, folks want to know where you're fishing tonight. She's muted, so she may not.
I'm fishing in the tackle store. Oh,
There she is.
I'm
I
just hanging out.
I
Hi,
didn't know I
everyone.
was muted. I'm fishing
Hi.
Watts Bar Lake.
Hi, Jody.
Okay.
Patty, nice to
Hi.
meet you. I
Good
met
to
you once
see you all.
before.
Yeah, and I'm glad to be down here again.
I'll probably see you this weekend when I come get bait.
I hope so. I hope to
Yeah.
see anyone who's around.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
we're gonna be working in here tomorrow after breakfast, and organizing and cleaning.
You know how to clean. You got to take everything out.
No,
Yeah, and then you put everything back in. Uh-oh, Josh is in
That's
trouble.
right, Jish.
there's my paddle.
You make a mess to clean up a mess.
Well, you have to sometimes.
Well, I had to clean the other place out, and it's like my storage right now.
It was like a treasure hunt.
Yeah.
We found some stuff.
But she won stickers on Ed Evans' show
I
a
did.
couple weeks back.
Nice.
I guess the weight, the fish,
Yeah,
Shelby caught.
and she was like 1/10 off or something like
I
that.
think I said 14.7
I don't know.
or 6.
Yeah, when it was
Yeah.
like 14.5. So
Yeah,
that's a pretty good guess.
That's
that was
cool.
fun. That was fun. I like watching. When I'm in Ohio, well, I broke my arm and it's doing a little better.
Remember that in May, Dustin?
I do.
My arm-
Or March. She was supposed to come down in May
Yep.
and buy a camper.
Well, but here's the thing. I couldn't come because I had to have some surgery and another surgery, and it kept getting mixed up because, those doctors and appointments and stuff, and so I couldn't come till I was okay. So now I'm doing better, and now I was able to come down. I'm glad I got to come down. I like Tennessee. It's pretty,
Me too.
yeah,
Dustin was here a couple weeks ago.
yeah. It's
Yep.
okay.
Well, I'll let you do chat or whatever. So I'll mute it.
No, you're fine.
Yeah, I'll leave. I'm not echoing, right? Oh,
You are.
Yeah, you are a little bit.
Well, we are when you're not muted.
This was my dad's tackle box.
Oh
This
wow.
thing is, it's the old My Spinning Buddy. The old
My buddy and me.
My
It's a-
buddy.
it really, I gotta fix the light on that. It's an old metal tackle box, man. Look at that thing. Pretty cool.
Josh, James said you need to go fishing for bait in the morning.
James, you already got bait in front of me.
Wait, I just saw James. He got some bait.
Oh,
Well,
busted.
he gave me extra from last week,
He
so
wants some.
I actually owed him. But I gotta get Jody's bait. I gotta get John's, and I gotta get Floyd's, and I gotta get George's, and I gotta get Buddy's, and I don't know who else.
We got to
No.
pray for Skipjack.
Yeah. But yeah. So.
Hey, James. I'm
Well, I'm
wearing.
gonna, hey Josh, I'm gonna mute you since we are echoing when you're up here.
Okay.
But just wave if you get a fish or anything you want to say.
Okay.
All right. Jonathan May says hi, Josh's mom.
Hey, Jonathan.
Thanks for coming in, Jonathan.
James, I'm wearing your shirt, man. And
He's dressed up as a skunk for Halloween.
You're not even up here. Yeah, that's what I'm. Yeah, for Halloween, I'm somebody that can't catch fish. I don't know what that feels like.
What, to not catch fish? You hang out with me enough, you should know.
Joke.
He said, dang good looking shirt.
It is.
Oh, Randy said, looks like I'm going to have to use chicken this weekend.
Getting a little cold for chicken. Maybe not. I don't know. I think chicken is usually a summertime thing if we do it up here.
If we do it, yeah.
I know, James. It's just a joke. You don't have to get all defensive. I think I got 4th place last week.
Trust me, we know you caught fish last week. We heard
Yeah.
all about it the entire day.
We also heard about the other 30 that you didn't catch. Oh, look. Watch. Yep.
It was fun times. I mean, it was frustrating on our behalf, not catching fish, but
yeah. We got one at the very end though. We
that
reeled
was
one
that was
in at like 157.
Yep. Yep. Right there at the last minute, we pulled a Jodi.
Yeah, we sure did. But that's
Oh, Randy
one,
said, Go ahead.
that one little 8-pound fish that put us in the top 21.
That sure did.
I mostly come out tonight to try to get bait.
How's that going out? How's that working out for you?
This is about the time I start trolling for it, and I drive through it and throw a cast net on it.
Ah. James said, "Oh, please, I only caught a couple. I sucked. It's just some people sucked more than me." Yeah, like us.
That's true. Yep.
Hey, fishing with Cook with Mike Chavez. Taste.
What's up, Mike?
Happy
Howdy,
birthday.
friends and neighbors. Happy Halloween.
Oh, it's Bob
his-
Zilla's birthday too.
It was his birthday, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah? Well, shucks.
I wished him a happy birthday on Facebook. This is today, or yeah, I think it was today.
Yeah.
Yep.
Is it Nubby's birthday too, or am I dreaming?
Hold on, let me see if you're snoring.
I don't have a clue.
I'd have
Oh.
a fish on if that was true.
That is true. Your phone went sideways or vertical. Is your battery power going low?
Yes.
There
The answer is yes.
I want to plug in, Jodi.
It'll start spinning here in a second. Maybe not. Maybe she caught it quick enough.
Oh, look at that. Mike Chavez says, "I'm off work for my birthday." Sweet.
Woo. Good deal.
I try to always take that week off for my birthday.
Yeah, we usually go camping, or not necessarily usually. This past year, we went camping around my birthday. That was nice. James says, looks like he'll be doing the same thing this weekend, dragging up in the lake.
Yeah, I think we're gonna. Oh, there she goes.
Told you.
Yep. I think
Yeah.
we're gonna do some dragging as well.
Yeah, I think I'm still not sure where. I was looking at Navionics today though, and it looked like there was plenty of places to do it down where we were. Even more places than I originally thought. So,
Oh no.
but that's going to be one of those hard decisions because it's either go to the tried and true or something new, you know. I don't know.
Yeah.
It could pay
Yep.
off big time, or we could just be incredibly frustrated again.
Yep. Well, I mean, we talked about that on Saturday, right? Right
Yeah.
before we left. Before we left the bait area, you're like, well, so and so is probably going to catch some big fish, and we're probably not going to have that much of luck. And then watch things switch. We're like, no, we'll come here. And then whoever goes to where we were is going to catch a lot of fish, and we're going to struggle again. So
Yeah, it's all hindsight, man.
absolutely, it's all luck of the
Gregory-
draw. You got to find the fish.
That's true. Gregory says, Dustin, did you hear about my double hook angling jigs got third in a Kansas crappie tournament first half of October?
I did not hear that. Congratulations. That's awesome.
Yeah, congrats, bud.
Keep it up.
James says, going to be no flow, and the river is closed all weekend down in Chattanooga.
Wow.
Oh, boo-hoo. Here we go. Excuses usually do start on Thursdays.
We'll hear about it all tournament.
Yeah.
Nope. You know what? I think they switched it up this time. I think James is on somebody else's channel, and we got Danny Stone.
Well, when the heck did they choose that?
I think Kevin's just starting to either randomly pick.
Yeah, I know they weren't doing I guess they weren't doing the wheel or whatever. But like, how do you know? Like, did he post something?
Yes, he posted it on Facebook.
Okay.
So it looks like right now the teams are on Palmetto Cat's channel is My Bad Dude, Danny Stone, the Swains, Team Amish, Jodi, Big Mike, and Catfish Hunters TV, John and Dana.
Oh my gosh, we're surrounded by the Tennessee anglers.
And then,
Oh
yep,
my God.
yep. See, the only one that's not Tennessee is going to be us and Danny Stone.
Oh my gosh.
And then we got on Two Stands channel, you have Parker Pursuits, Cool Cats, Tony Harrison, Freddie Beck, Roger from Muskrat Adventures, Dominic Hollis, and Team Thompson. And then on Brian B's channel is Stand 3, Hooks and Hammocks, No Real Loss, Fishing Not Catching, Catch Fish with Us. Wait. They got to redo that unless they, hold on. Let me check Facebook. They put Catfish Hunters TV on Brian B's channels too.
Simulcast.
That's right.
Wow. So if you want to, if you're the type of subscriber that wants to watch a fishing tournament where there's not going to be very much chit chat, go to Brian B's. If you're the type that wants to hear nonstop chit chat, then go to Kevin's. And if you want something in the middle, go to Stan's.
Yeah.
That's pretty much how that's going to play out.
No. If you want to go to a channel where all the participants are going to be talking back and forth, that's when you go to Kevin's. If you want to go somewhere where the host is going to talk nonstop, go to Stan's.
Yeah.
If you want to go where there's not very much talking at all, go to Brian B's.
Yeah, that's true.
Lisa said, "Austin, get over it."
No, I don't think I will.
Gregory, we're probably going to end this in the next 5 to 10 minutes.
I like having Randy and Lisa on the screen. They're good people to talk to.
Absolutely.
Along with all the other ones. Nothing against anybody, but they were just the ones that made the comment.
James said, "No one can fish below the dam in Chattanooga. They are having some kayak thing, so the river is closed to boaters."
Oh, wow.
They had the same thing up at the Ancaros one time when Stan and I went to launch. They had the rowboat races.
Oh, yeah.
And so we launched and we went around their buoys and then we went down to the honey hole.
I think I've seen that as well. And then they do in Richmond, they do the little mini boat ones, don't they? Isn't there a time a year or whatever? There's an event where they do like an RC boat race or something.
Oh, I've never seen that.
Yeah, because I launched during that and I went around there and like I was making no wakes, but to an RC boat, like
You were making tsunami waves.
They were it was like an ocean cruise, like a barge going by to them. So I was in idle just about, or I think I almost just about floated down the river so I wouldn't disturb them, but it doesn't take a whole lot. But they had the same thing. You could barely get around them, had the buoys up.
Lisa said, "Austin, you will just have to deal with us Tennessee folk."
I know. And I love y'all. Don't worry. It's all jokes.
Randy said, "I'm planning on Jodi's tomorrow and then the tournament Saturday, trying some new areas." There you go.
Well, good for you.
Oh, this is what, this whole time, and now that Jodi's not even on here, I ran downstairs to get something, and I totally forgot to show it off when I got back upstairs, and now that Jodi's not here, it doesn't make it as fun. But anyway. So, Jodi's show won the Golden Whisker last year for Best Talk Show of the Year.
Yes.
Well, she got two medals out of it. She gave James one, and she kept one. And then she she had Kevin make another one.
That was very nice of her. That's awesome.
So I got a golden whisker for best best live stream. Live fishing stream. Yep.
That's awesome. That's well deserved. Well deserved.
Because it was our channel, Jody's channel, and Stan's channel up for the award.
Yeah. Yep. I remember. But that's well deserved. You're up there every night or every Friday night, reading chat, making sure that everybody's voice is heard.
Absolutely. James, yes, I finally got it. It came in the mail today. Darrell just mailed it to me. But what is missing is the two Pontoon Jodi shirts that we were supposed to get. Bobcat couldn't find them.
Shucks.
Surprised he just didn't make a couple more.
You could have been a skunker for Halloween too.
Could have.
Shucks.
Well, I'm on call and I got a work call. So if you want to stay up a little bit longer, we can do that. I can go take care of this, come back, or we can go ahead and call it a night.
It's up to you, bud. What would you prefer?
Well, if Jish and his mom are still fishing and you want us to continue to talk, you can more than happy.
Well, we're getting tired actually because I got up early to bait fish. So
Okay.
But
All right.
I'm all right.
I'm glad we got to say hi.
Yep.
Yep.
Thank you guys.
Glad I got to meet you.
Yeah, it was nice meeting you all.
It was wonderful meeting you. Thanks for coming up tonight.
I'm glad we did. I'll continue to watch in Ohio when I get back up there.
She's
thank you so much.
She's gonna do the tournament Saturday.
Okay.
Oh,
Right.
good.
And I
Well, we'll
may
see
have
you
a
there.
secret- I've got another secret weapon.
Uh-oh.
Well.
It's not a secret anymore, Josh.
I've got one more. I got one more.
Oh,
coming.
okay.
That's great. That's great.
You'll find out Saturday.
Awesome. We
All
look
right.
forward to it.
Thank you,
Thank y'all for coming up. Chat, thank y'all for coming in. Chit chat with us tonight. Hope you learned something. I know I learned a little bit tonight. I love the shirt, Josh. Love the shirt.
Yep.
All right.
Hope
We'll
you have
see
a
you
wonderful
guys.
evening.
Thank you.
You too. Bye, guys.
All right.
Bye.
Yeah.
So, Chat, thank you all so much for coming in. We really appreciate you joining the conversation with us. Austin, thank you for sharing your knowledge. Man, I had that light on. It looks like my eyes are halfway shut.
It's no problem. I'll share whatever. I don't know if it's really knowledge or not, but I'll share whatever I think I know.
Well, you know me. I think you're better at this whole catfish game than I am. So I'm going to try to pull as much knowledge out of you as I can.
Like, yeah. Well, at least it's not drawing blood from a rock, Even if it's not always good blood, at least you're getting it. But no, I'm not better than anybody.
Well, on that note, like I said, I got to take care of this work call, but thank you all for coming up tonight. Hope everybody enjoyed the show. If anybody ever has any comments or suggestions for a show, please reach out to Team Snaggin Whiskers at gmail.com. Remember that Snaggin, there's no G. Team Snaggin Whiskers. Just like Fishin Fever. There's no G in there.
No G.
Fishin. Team Snaggin Whiskers at gmail.com. Also, please feel free to go visit F.O.A customsandgear.com. Use code TSW10, Fever 10, 2 stands 10. You can use FTW10, but it's spelled TSW10. But yeah, go check them out. Also, River Cats Tackle. Get yourself some Ancient Mariner equipment. Their rods are awesome. Their reels are fantastic. I know I won't use any other reels other than Ancient Mariner. Quality reels, look great, perform fantastic. But please go check them out. You can use 92210 at River Cats Tackle. And I think there's always free shipping, lifetime warranty on all the Ancient Mariner gear. Go check all them out. Thank you all so much for coming up. Hopefully everybody sees us tomorrow night on Friday Night Cat Chat and Pontoon Jodi's Fishing with Friends. And then Saturday morning, those 3 channels I talked about, Palmetto Cats, 2 Stands channel, Brian B. at 9 a.m. Eastern time to 2 p.m. for the Whisker Cup. And we'll see everybody then. Thank you all so much.
Thank you all for watching.